MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. This is a prediction video for Neil Magny and Hector Lombard, who are fighting this weekend. UFC Brisbane in Australia. This fight is the co-main event. Just before the main event, which is Frank Mir versus Mark Hunt, which I'll be putting out a prediction video later on today for that one. But Neil Magny versus Hector Lombard. This is UFC Fight Night 85. Like I said, Brisbane, Australia. I'm looking forward to this fight, to be honest. Well, it's interesting because Hector Lombard, he solid fighter, very explosive, very powerful. Good judo. But he's 38 years old. He's been, hasn't been extremely active lately. A little over a year ago, he fought Josh Berkman. Wasn't his best performance. He seemed a little bit hesitant to commit in that fight. But maybe that's because Josh Berkman, he's got a very awkward style. He's kind of he's hard to read. So anyway, and you got to remember too, he got busted for PEDs in that fight. So we don't know, with the new drug testing, what he's going to be like, how he's going to perform. Maybe he'll be the same fighter, but I wouldn't bet on it just because he's getting up there in age. He's probably on PEDs his whole career. I mean, you could assume that, I guess. So it'll be interesting. Now, before that, Hector Lombard, before the Berkman fight in 2014, he got a unanimous decision against Jake Shields. Before that, he got a KO or TKO versus Nate Marquardt. So, those are some pretty good wins. 2013, 2014. 2015, he got a no decision. He did beat Berkman. Wasn't his best performance. But now, a little over a year later, he's taking on Neil Magny, a very, very, a fighter that's been on quite the roll, actually. I didn't actually realize this, but in 2014, Neil Magny fought 5 times, and he also fought 5 times in 2015. So he fought 10 times in 2 years, only losing once to Damian Maia. I think it was a decision, but I'm not even quite sure. I should probably check that. But anyway, so Neil Magny's been on quite the roll lately, winning 9 of 10 of his last fights. And he's very, very tall. He's 6'3". That's a really, really big welterweight. They're weighing in at 170. Like Anderson Silva was a tall middleweight at 185, and he was 6'3". So in a division 15 pounds lighter, you got a guy that's 6'3" as well, 80-inch reach. So he's definitely going to be the much taller fighter, the much longer fighter than Hector Lombard. I believe Hector Lombard's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. I think it's about 10-inch reach advantage that Magny has. But this fight, it'll be interesting. I am picking Neil Magny to win this one. I do believe the 10 years younger is going to play a factor. Also, Neil Magny, he had a very good performance his last fight, which he took on short notice against Kevin Gastelum. Not that Kevin Gastelum is, a phenomenal fighter, but he's a solid fighter. I think he would have probably him and Lombard would have a close fight if I were to predict. But, he actually beat, Neil Magny beat, I'm drawing a blank here. Neil Magny beat Kevin Gastelum in his last fight. It was a very, very impressive performance. He outboxed him. I believe he submitted him. I'm just going to check that now. I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, Neil Magny, he uses extreme, he has a really good boxing skills, and he's so long, right? He can really use his reach and his range to his advantage. He's got good footwork as well. He's a very good athlete, very underrated fighter. Not too many people know about him. But I'm just checking if his last fight, if he did submit Kevin Gastelum. No, oh, it was a split decision against Kevin Gastelum. Fight of the night. Wow, I'm surprised it was a split decision because Neil Magny, he outboxed the crap out of Kevin Gastelum in that fight. And Neil Magny scored 6 takedowns to Kevin Gastelum's 2, and they called it a split decision. Fight of the night. Wow. Okay. Well, regardless, it was Neil Magny's. It was the best win of his career. And I just think Kevin Gastelum also shorter guy. I think he's 5'10", 5'11". He's 5'9" actually, so he's the same height as Hector Lombard. And Kevin Gastelum, actually has some potential. Had a hard time making weight sometimes. He's got a lot of heart, but it just wasn't enough to beat Neil Magny, even though it was a split decision. I think it could have been a unanimous decision, but anyway, I think Hector Lombard is going to have some trouble with Neil Magny as well. So I'm picking Neil Magny to win by decision. I think unanimous decision. I think what'll happen. A lot of factors in this fight you got to take in consideration. Maybe Hector Lombard will come out there and prove me wrong, but I really think Neil Magny is at the prime peak of his career. And I think he can improve. But this would be a good win for him. Hector Lombard, a lot of experience, a lot of power, explosiveness. He's seen a lot. So definitely got Neil Magny winning it. Let me know what you guys think. If anyone thinks that Hector Lombard has a better chance of winning, let me know. I want to hear what you guys have your take on it. But I got Neil Magny. So that's this Saturday, UFC Fight Night 85. If you like the video, subscribe. That's it for this one. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace.